Okay, so I am slightly nervous here. It's a personality trait that I have associated with asperger's. Because people like to control you, they like to take your freedom and silence you because it doesn't meet with their standard. That's even if they have standards. We're all supposed to have standards. Which we can find, which we hope may work. We listen to the struggles, and we don't know what to do with the struggles. Because people have made life difficult. Life on the spectrum isn't easy. There was a time when following God was easy. That was before the fall. The fall created or allowed the arrival of sin, the knowledge of good and evil. To be equal with God. But God had to separate us from himself and launch his rescue plan. And his rescue plan isn't something that's evolving over time. His rescue plan was to send Christ. To become sin. If we had continued in this life and eaten of the tree of life with our eyes open, we would not have eaten of the tree of life. Because to understand the tree of life, we need to understand that mankind needed to see humanity needed to see they were naked in order for that to matter. So God placed on the tree of life, or around the tree of life, protection, a flaming sword, we are told. He did this so that we would not eat of the tree of life and live forever as sinners. Now, let me be clear here. Asperger's isn't a superpower. It really isn't a disability. But it is an ability to be different, to think outside the square. It is the ability to be odd and to embrace being odd. So, we have Asperger's, which people would like to see removed. Based on grounds that don't really have any basis in argument. I hate argument. I hate having to win. I hate having to crush people and destroy their dreams. But the fall happened. And yes, our dreams were crushed. We get told, imagine a world without religion. You can have that in atheism. But atheism is a lack of a belief system. Atheism is blind, uncaring, unconcerned with our own struggles. Asperger's is a struggle in and of itself. The journey starts with a diagnosis. And the earlier on you pick up on the signs, symptoms and traits of Asperger's, the better it can be for you, because it now means that you have interests which you can pursue. God gives us the freedom to pursue. Whilst pursuing us at the same time and sending to us messages. He left the Bible. He sent Christ. He continues to change lives. It's the world that has missed this. It's the world that will pay the price when it is separated from God. And I know that sounds pious. I also know I don't want to see anybody in hell, but by choice you can go there. So I guess in the struggles we must face our enemies. And our enemies must be those who are of godlessness or of any other religious persuasion other than Christianity. Now, I will acknowledge that Christianity hasn't always existed, but God has, and God will continue to exist. He wants you to find Him. He pursues you because He wants you. He wants you to understand. He wants you to become different people. He wants you to change. Now, as a younger man, it was easy for me to spout out belief. It was easy for me because I didn't have half of the opposition that was before me. I didn't have trials. I had a pretty easy life. It's only since the diagnosis, 2002, that I have actually had any time to go back and think about my past. Now, I can't travel back in time and undo what I've done. I can't stop myself from thinking about what I might do differently. I can only give my life over and pray, read the Bible, attend church, so that I'm fellowshipping with believers, so that I can find encouragement, so that I can go to places like YouTube and talk about this stuff, because it's not interesting to most people. However, I'm not interested in being interesting. No, I learned a long time ago that interests were different for people. I learned a long time ago that people often have wrongly held opinions. And it took me a long time to understand and fathom anything else. Even as a 5-year-old, I remember being mocked for trying to identify as a Christian. Trying to stammer out answers in a state school in the 80s. In a different state than the one I'm in. But that hasn't made me a man. My journey to being a man has really only been, I realized, over the last 5 or 6 years. Because I grew up a time when the Bible says was an answer you could give. And the Bible is God's authority. There is no doubt there. You're not going to win friends by backing away from your view. You're not going to win friends by trying to impress on them that they must follow you. But you must follow Christ if you are to have any hope. Any belief system. Because without the beginning, there is nothing. Before time, God was. Before the universe's existence, God was. And we are on a journey to God. We are on a journey out of the evilness. But we must pursue God earnestly in righteousness. We must pursue God. Because He first chose us from before the creation of the world. There's comfort in that. I have to say I do not find comfort in assigning blame. Adam tried that one. Eve tried that one. And so did Satan. And we're all guilty of being wronged. And we can probably all remember losing. But it's time to start winning. And before this video continues much longer, I will say in a word to the cult, Edie, ciao baby.